Uh, that looks like it might be a little tight for the little buddy. Just gotta manhandle it, man-crandle it. All right, scrubby scrub time. Let me, a little sprinkle here, sprinkle there. All right. Alrighty, molding. It's warming up compared to what it was yesterday. Holy cow. It's supposed to be mid-60s today. It was only like in the 30s yesterday. This molding's too long. All right, time to cut her out. All right, so what we have here today is a 2019 Rogue Sport. The Sport, there's emphasis on that just because the Rogue Sport and the diff is quite a bit different than the Rogue itself, although that's not even the same model year, so it may be different body style anyways, but the Sport is a little bit smaller and the windshield is different. This vehicle does have ADAS features, as you can see the camera cut out. This particular account, it's a Nissan dealership. They do their own calibrations, but for good measure, just because I am using the aftermarket windshield, I always do a pre-scan and a post-scan on these just to make sure that anything that I've done didn't cause any issues. I've already got the glass prepped and I've already done that pre-scan, so I'm just ready to get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this cowl. It's got a retainer that it meets up to, and it snaps into that. I generally like to use the cowl for these types of sets to kind of utilize it as a setting block, but on Nissans in particular, they've got these clips that are on the front, and they have a tendency of breaking, or they'll pull like off as you're kind of working with the vehicle. So just to get them out of the way, that way I don't lose them or anything, I just take it off. And then what I'll do is I'll put, dang, almost lost that. I'll put the cowl back on before I actually set the windshield. Easy. Alright, gotta unplug this. And it's out. Alright. I just want to kind of demonstrate real quick on how I remove these moldings. So I just kind of got it started with this panel tool here. I know a lot of people will grab a hook tool. That's always kind of concerned me just because hook tool, it's easy. I mean, it's easy to slip with any tool when pulling moldings out like this. But a hook tool in particular, just because the point can be kind of sharp. And I've poked myself a time or two trying it that way just to give it a shot. And yeah, that never fails. I always slip and stab myself with it. So that's how I get them started. All right, time to sharpen this bad boy up. I'm finding that the hat clip for this camera only works well if you're actually wearing a frickin' hat. So, all right. Let's see. Nice and slick. Other side. This looks like this has been done before, even though it's got a Nissan windshield in it. This bead is looking too rough to be factory. Doesn't mean it's not, though. It still could be. Push knife. Here we go. Other side. There it is, all nice and loose. Oopsie daisy. All right, stick it in this first slot right here. Beautiful. Okay, this pinch weld is nasty. I'm gonna try and clean it as best I can. This is kind of one of those ones where it's borderline. You almost gotta do it after the fact, but I try really hard to do it the recommended way. See, now there's a little bit of dirt down in there in that crease. I'm not gonna get all of this, but the thing is that dirt is on the back wall. It's not gonna be significant enough to cause it to really fall in my fresh cut urethane. So it should be fine. The idea behind this is to get as much of the dirt off the pinch weld as possible. You're not always going to get 100%. In fact, with the way the bead mushes down, it's going to kind of like it, you know, it rounds on the edges. So some of this dirt is going to be tucked under that edge. That's why you see this up here. That should be sufficient enough for me to trim. All right, I got that side all trimmed. You can see most of the dirt is clear, so the areas that need to be primed, I can touch on and prime and go from there. I've already wiped down the dash too. This is my dash rag here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the other side and trim that. Prime everything, we should be ready to set. Oh, come on now. All right, this molding on this side's being a booger. All right. Now that I got the body primed and the glass primed, I need to wait for this to dry. Ready to run our bead. I'm gonna have to be careful with the molding on this side. Just looking at it, see it wants to pop off on me. All right. Beautiful. And see how I ended my bead on the outside? That's so that way water running down, if I was to run it the other way, water could get caught and possibly run in and then overflow on the firewall and then get inside the vehicle. The factory does this on all quarter glasses, and you'll see them do it on windshields, although they usually put their beads somewhere on the direct bottom. But yeah. Always good to land on the outside. All right. I got my cowl on. All I gotta do is line it up. You might need to open the hood. Done with that. All right. Not hitting my my cup, so that's good. Got that there. All right. And like I said, I was just using that as setting block. See, I pulled my clips off, pulling it forward like that. But as far as alignment goes, my windshield is exactly where it needs to be. There she is. And if you're wondering, have I ever broke a windshield doing that? Yes. Yes, I have. It's the one thing that sucks about these retainers. Sometimes they're either too tight or not tight enough. right, I'm gonna wrap it up, and that's it for this one. I just want to show here, I did tap this windshield in. I know I kind of left it to where I was putting the cowl back on, and that was it. But no, I got that sucker padded in, so this is giving me a hard time though. There we go. Yeah, it kept wanting to pop off. It's getting mouthy with me. Let's see. Camera. Oh, you're being a booger. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I don't know why. What the fuck? Huh. There it goes. Hey, look at that. Man. Pain in the butt. Oh, that's gotta go there. There we go. All right, smear tool. I love pocket tools. All right, now that's it. I'm gonna clean it and then I'm out of here. Clean it, and then do post scan, and I'm out of here.